Some of you may be wondering who I am. Me? Obama! No. Instead, I'm just fat man. Yeah. Not as fat as I used to be, but still pretty damn fat. So, yeah. We're back at it again with Re-Res. Just Bad Games. I remember hearing about this game, Batman Dark Tomorrow, and how bad it was. Ugh.
The title rings familiar, but I never really heard much about it.
Well, okay. There was a series of Batman games that came out in the 2000s. You know, it was like on somewhere on Xbox, somewhere on PlayStation. I remember Batman...
All I know is they never really got Batman right as a video game, apparently, until the Arkham series.
No, Batman Vengeance was alright. I mean, not the best, but it was alright. And then there was Batman Sun Tzu. Let's see.
It's probably spelled T-S-U-N.
Oh. There it is, Rise of Sinzu. Sinzu. Okay. And this one was okay as well. But overall, yeah, then they did this hunk of shit. Yeah, Dark Tomorrow. They did this, and literally one of the worst games of all time. Just horrible. God-awful. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? Envision Batman being a more realistic approach in a similar vein to the Arkham series. However, as the development progressed, the game was scaled back, slated for release on multiple consoles. Kemco were the ones who made it. And they're still in business. Damn. So yeah, that's interesting. The fact that people who made this hunk of shit still in business. So yeah, the Batman games have had some interesting times, and this was definitely one of the low points for Batman before the Arkham series. The Arkham series is considered considered peak Batman games. And rightfully so. I mean, it's like the Batman games on...
Some of my favorite games of all time.
I agree. Even, I know for you, Batman Arkham Origins is like...
So if you pretend that Arkham Origins came out first, and it was like a early PlayStation 3 or like late PlayStation 2 game, it's pretty dope.
Oh, I agree.
If you compare it directly to Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, it's not nearly as good, obviously. But is it still pretty good? Yeah.
Yes.
It's still pretty good.
Yes, I agree.
Especially if you go to play them through chronologically and just start with Origins, then go to Asylum. Like, that's a ton of fun. I like doing that every once in a while.
Yeah. Asylum, I remember when Arkham Asylum came out.
Oh, not to mention Origins is one of the only Christmas video games I can think of, so it's perfect for playing in Christmas season.
There you go. But Arkham Asylum, when it first came out, everyone was in disbelief with how good it was, because we never had a Batman game that good. And then, of course, you know, Arkham City amped it up to like 11. Then there was some shifting around at Rocksteady, and basically the development for Batman Arkham Knight was a little tumultuous. But overall, I would say Arkham Knight is still a good game. The PC port was broken for way too long, though, man. Y'all fucked up with that one. Y'all fucked up. But we're not here to talk about the Arkham franchise. We're here to talk about Batman Dark Tomorrow. Specifically, we're here to hear Re-Res tell us all about it, and just be like, I am an eagle. Are they going to make an I am an eagle reference in this? I hope not. Anyway, let's get into this gigantic pile of Sorry, I had to do it at least once. I promise not to do it too often. Anyway, here we go.
Batman Dark Tomorrow is a game developed by HotGen for the GameCube and Xbox.
The game was pitched as a highly ambitious open-world Batman game where you could traverse Gotham City, use multiple vehicles and tools to fight crime. Not based off of the successful movies or animated shows, this was a game that would pull completely from the long-running comic series.
The developers envisioned Dark Tomorrow as an Arkham City-like experience, a full console generation before even the first Arkham Asylum game hit store shelves.
After a 4-year development cycle, the game was finally released. But did they make the dream of becoming the Caped Crusader a reality?
No.
Well, would it be on this show if it did?
We begin our adventure beating up some crooks who just robbed a store. The enemies are brain dead and seem to lack any real idea of what to do to attack Batman.
If they do land a punch and Batman gets knocked to the ground, the criminals do nothing. They don't even try to kick him or anything. The AI is programmed so badly that it's just pathetic. This is your first taste of combat, and it's not really going all that well.
In fact, there is no training, no real introduction to gameplay mechanics. With combat, that might not be the biggest issue, but when it comes to the next random section of gameplay, folks, we got a big problem.
I'm sure the idea here was to have Batman traversing the rooftops, jumping from building to building, grappling structures with the ease and fluidity of an agile spider monkey.
This is the worst.
Wait, hold on. That's the same sound my uncle makes whenever his team loses the foot. Whenever his team like has an interception.
This is.
I made that exact same sound on the commode earlier today when my tummy was hurting. You said you wouldn't do it too often. You did it again already.
I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna take that away from you eventually. I know.
Stop it. I ain't gonna do it too much. I promise.
Is the worst traversal system implemented in a video game ever.
Oh, where do we begin? First off, the game has a fixed camera that clicks to new positions seemingly at freaking random. You never know when it's gonna happen, and when it does, it causes another problem.
Controls. They change directions with each camera movement. If you're moving forward by holding the thumbstick up and the camera angle changes, your controls shift direction
Gotta
too.
have tank
Forward
controls if
now
you're gonna
could be
have fixed
back
camera
or
angles. It's the only way it works.
left or right. It's insane.
This one rooftop has nothing on it, but it has two different camera angles that do nothing but disorient you.
This is the first rooftop.
The first!
You're gonna need to go across a lot more to clear this stage.
Without proper camera controls, it's hard to gauge distance between buildings. So you might be able to jump successfully once or twice, but other times it won't work. And if you haven't noticed it by now, Batman's basic jump also lacks momentum. But what it doesn't lack is panache.
I was going to say, I have the sound, but I don't have it queued up on the soundboard. Like him spinning around like that. Ha! Gay!
Can't say that.
For longer
2024.
gaps, you'll need to grapple.
Oh, the grapple.
Look, it just doesn't work.
You'll shoot it out and swing with a little momentum, and if you don't immediately continue forward, though, Batman just kind of hangs pathetically.
Alfred. Oracle. Can't swing. What's this button do?
In order to jump up onto buildings, Batman has this stiff, flippy jump maneuver that is incredibly hard to aim and control.
And perhaps to add more awfulness, the game has to load every few rooftops.
It's always unexpected. Just like the camera angles jostling, you'll never know when the game will suddenly stop and cut to a black screen.
Combine all of this together and you've got one heck of a challenge ahead of you. This is a masterstroke of bad mechanics all being crammed together in one sequence.
We're pretty sure the developers were well aware of how bad all this was, because this rooftop nightmare gameplay never returns in the rest of the game.
But don't be mistaken.
Huh?
What?
Why did you put it in the first place then?
I don't know. That.
into thinking the game gets any better.
After being informed that rival gangs are terrorizing Gotham, Batman takes to the streets.
We must defend Gotham.
Welcome to awful cramped spaces, even worse camera angles, and even more loading screens.
Check this sequence out. Bats casually walks in a straight line. The camera angle changes, and then some random guy in a window shoots a rocket that instantly kills Batman.
Wow.
Batted.
Typically in a game like this, you've learned a lesson. That lesson being, avoid the man with the rocket launcher in the window.
But when you reload the game, the enemy in the window is gone. We practically begged to be shot again, but nothing.
This is ultra confusing and ultimately...
What in the hell is wrong with this game?
It's just like, ha ha, cheap death. It won't happen again, but we got you that time. Ha ha.
Yeah. Hold on.
Straight line. The camera angle changes, and then some random
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
guy in a
Too
window
much
shoots a
already,
rocket
man.
that instantly
Okay, I'll
kills
stop.
Funny.
Batman.
I'll stop.
The game, nothing whole stage is to interact with. These streets are confusing or mindless sequences and objects that are hard to interact with. These streets are just filled with so many problems.
It will take you several minutes to open a door. The action button is the same as attack, so you'll end up punching the air over and over instead of opening it. This will happen, though, with every single door in the entire game.
When you do manage to get outside, you get more confusing little events. Oh, see that car there? Batman, go check it out.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
My parents are dead.
Yeah, sometimes cars just explode
shit.
when Batman gets close to them.
And just like the disappearing rocket launcher guy, it serves no purpose at all but to irritate you.
There are so many obviously unfinished areas in these levels. You might be curious to explore the world with your grappling hook. Never, ever do this.
You might jump outside of the stage into an incomplete area that has no way to get back to where you came from. Like this wonderful little void of nothingness here.
It really feels like the scraps of a failed open world game.
Batman's in the back rooms.
Streets with dynamic camera angles have nothing in them, and awkwardly positioned walls funnel you in specific directions.
So you better stay in that direction, because otherwise you'll live out a fate worse than a game over. You'll be stuck playing this game longer than you'd ever want to.
Back to combat, Batman supposedly has stealth takedown abilities, but they're totally broken.
Enemies always seem to hear you regardless, and if you do happen to get close enough to punch them, it doesn't always work.
Take that, air.
Speaking of taking down foes, you're gonna run into way more enemies on this stage, and everything is about to come to a crawl. You see, none of the regular enemies in this game actually have health bars. Instead, what you need to do is restrain them.
When you punch one enemy and knock them down, it's not such a big deal to cuff that one person. But how about six?
6 enemies all chipping at your health.
While they don't have a health bar, plus they'll never get permanently knocked out.
Every time you knock down one thug and fight another,
The previously knocked down enemy gets back up.
you'll be fighting everyone in a
How did this
messy,
shit make it past
never-ending loop.
QA?
Even if you have a
I
moment to
don't
start
know.
quickly tying up one of the enemies,
Another will smack you in the back of the head and knock you down, breaking the sequence and freeing the bad guy you were just trying to tie up.
will this ever end?
Maybe
Never.
you'll get lucky and by some miracle be able to tie everyone up. But if you're like us,
You'll just run away as fast as you can to end the stage.
this is a legit
Seems like a
strategy.
better
You don't
strategy.
actually need to
Yeah.
rid the streets of dangerous criminals. You just need to get from point A to point B.
This was our go-to move while clearing the game. That is, until we got to our first boss battle,
Black Mask.
Black Mask.
Now, you might be expecting the gameplay to shift to a more refined method of play. Maybe Black Mask will move in a certain way or have some repeated sequences of moves that require timing and precision to lay the perfect attack.
Nope.
We begun the fight by throwing batarangs from off-screen at Black Mask. We couldn't see him, but his health bar was sure going down fast.
Once we got bored
Just
of
eating
doing this, we
batarangs at his
decided to
head.
punch him in the face.
This was a very effective strategy.
Shortly after, Batman takes on another classic villain, Scarface. Now, while
Gosh.
some of the cutscenes in Dark Tomorrow look okay by 2003 standards,
This is just weird. Scarface's head is dislodged and it's still
Yeah,
talking.
I've been playing Clive Barker's Undying, which came out in 2001.
Yeah.
Every single cutscene in that game looks way better than this one so far.
Yes.
I don't think this character was ever sentient. He's supposed to be controlled by the ventriloquist. I'd ask more questions, but the minute Batman pulls a live fish off the concrete, he hurls it into Scarface's mouth.
Why is there a live fish on the concrete?
I just give up.
oh, we also see Robin in this cutscene and oh my gosh.
Okay, hold up. That's Cassandra Cain. She's an actual character from the comics, and yes, she's supposed to look like that. When they released this game, she was just introduced, though, so maybe not that many people knew who she was?
In the Arkham Asylum games, they did a great job of introducing the characters and providing a way to find out more about them through documents that you could read. That way, you're never really lost when you play.
But here, everything is all over the place. You have very specific characters showing up with no explanation or any possible way to find out who they are in the game. And even if a character does show up that you happen to know, you don't have any way to find out what this version of them is like. Hence the shock I got seeing an actual freaking puppet talking without any help from the ventriloquist.
Anyway, in the next stage, Batman takes to the sewers, and after a mind-numbing hour of blindly crawling through them, there's not that much to say, except, hey, big rats.
RoboCop warned me about these.
The sewers lead the Dark Knight to
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum. You might be excited to hear the game.
I was gonna say, I would say, oh man, Princess Bride warned me about these. That'd be a more relative thing than RoboCop.
Will have a huge chunk that takes place in this iconic location.
Don't be.
There is a whole lot of backtracking that goes on with very little direction, but eventually you will stumble onto your first of many encounters with Batman's Rogues Gallery.
First fight is with Killer Croc, a towering, vicious, animalistic killer known for his strength and agility.
So how did we beat him?
Punch him in the face.
Kicked him in the face.
The battle is seriously unimpressive, but don't worry, there is another one literally right around the corner.
We're not exaggerating when we say that you'll be hitting boss fights just brief minutes apart from one another. It feels like the team behind Dark Tomorrow was running out of time and money fast.
Next up, you'll face Poison Ivy, but before you get to her, you'll need to fight one of Batman's greatest enemies, a tree.
The game doesn't really let you know you need to fight the tree, but the tree attacks you.
This
Why
is
does that look
so
like it was
sad.
ripped directly
When you
off from
finally
Resident
meet
Evil 1?
Poison
I
Up.
think.
I don't know.
Ivy, she's surrounded by more of these stupid, evil trees and vines. I think the game developers were finally trying to make a boss battle with some kind of strategy to it, but they clearly gave up about halfway.
Batman will flail about, punching and kicking anything while spraying anti-vegetable juice as fast as he can. And if you're very, very ultra lucky, maybe you'll accidentally beat her.
Ah, but there's no time to think because you're on to the next battle with Mr. Freeze.
Damn it, Victor. So just literally punch him
And once
until
you
it
beat
dies.
him, you fight Zaz.
It seems our enemies are unprepared for Batman's brilliant battle plan of not moving and spamming 2 buttons.
But hold up, now we get to the main attraction, the Clown Prince of
Joker.
Crime, the Joker. Likely to be an incredible boss battle that will take all of the skills you've learned and combine them together into an impressive piece of gameplay.
Only the Joker runs away and you just fight regular enemies until Joker kinda just...
Gives up?
Success!
You might expect the game to end here, but we're not lucky enough for that, because the true head villain in this game is none other than Ra's al Ghul, who reveals himself via remote video call from his secret lair.
Are we gonna talk about the video pipe organ?
No. I can't. Having found the coordinates of Roz's lair, Batman flies close to it with his bat plane. But to avoid being caught on radar, he uses his famous bat glider to stealthily travel between the ridges of this mountain of ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first and only vehicle sequence in the whole game, and, well...
I feel like a bird. Oh, clip the wing. I'm sailing away. I didn't do anything that time. Oh. Hello? Anyone? This doesn't seem possible, but it is. I'm really scared and confused right now. Alfred. Alfred.
Alfred!
Hello?
And now we know why this is the only kind of vehicle section in this game.
Now, up until this point, we had a very special and useful feature.
Say what you will about traversal in this game and how everything is structured. At least you know where you've been and possibly where you need to go because of this helpful little mini-map up to the top right.
It has been featured completely in the game, but on this final level, kiss the one good thing about this game goodbye.
So, your radar's out and you're sneaking into an ice fortress in a land bathed in white. What does Batman, the master of stealth, wear?
The same dark costume he always does.
Way to blend in, Bats. Oh,
Yeah.
And speaking of blending in, when everything's white, what's hard to see?
Gigantic deadly chasms.
We finally make our way out to some sort of compound, open the door, and... You know, I think this is a fairly accurate metaphor for what it feels like to
Just... Why? Why?
play this game. Fair.
Remember when we were talking about not having a map being a problem? Well, the camera angles that this game offers you don't show you important things like a door, which the radar would hint at. This game is terrible.
When you get to Ra's al Ghul's castle thing, it's very unclear how to actually get into this space. But don't try to explore for too long because they punish you for doing it. We're pelted with mortar fire, and we deal with tons and tons of goons.
Get to higher ground, Batman!
No, okay, let me just...
What the fuck? Really?
Alfred.
We were stuck in this area for a
Alfred.
long time.
Alfred,
Doors you
I'm not
can't
having a
open,
good time.
paths you can't take. You just keep
Alfred, they put me in a shitty video game. I'm gonna sue them, Alfred.
cycling around forever trying to find some solution to this endless directionless maze.
Know what you have to do?
No! What?
Shoot blindly into the sky with your grappling hook in one very specific area and awkwardly climb into that window.
What? How would you ever know to do that?
Once inside Ra's al Ghul's lair, you roam the sparsely decorated halls, and let me tell you, this is just
Terrible
monotonous.
design
You
is
traverse what
terrible.
feels like the same long hallways and rooms over and over again.
With all of this walking, you start to notice the way Batman is animated. And I mean, just look at him.
He
Is
pooped
this
himself.
seriously the movement of a highly trained, stealthy hero?
He runs like he's scampering for a toilet.
Batman needs to make.
He walks like a pouting child.
Where's
Batman needs to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Alfred? It's even in this game.
He sneaks like... Oh, I'm not sure exactly what. I think this is new.
I'm Crabman.
You'll be seeing all of these wonderful animations again and again because, folks, this here is the peak of terrible that this game has to offer. Welcome to Ra's al Ghul's Endless Hall of Boredom.
This entire level is loaded with immense backtracking due to incredibly long dead ends. Even the programmers seemed fed up with this level. There are doorways that are straight up blacked out, and you crouch into ventilation shafts that have twists and turns that are completely inaccessible.
Batman can't go left. Batman can't go right. Looks like Batman's gonna have to stay here tonight.
The name of the game here, I guess, is wander around and beat up enemies.
But it's not just enemies that are a threat. The camera is constantly working against you. See this sequence here? The camera is pointing at Batman. So he's probably thinking,
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna walk forward now. Yes, I am. I'm a good Batman.
but when he does,
He falls into a pit.
That's just fucking evil.
Hidden directly behind the camera.
we really didn't know how to get past this point. So in vain, we tried to grapple again. And, well,
Alfred, Batgirl, Oracle. This keeps happening to me. Wait, am I actually holding anything right now?
Through sheer will and determination, with any luck, you'll eventually find your way through several important-looking rooms, like this one, which has some smoky computer terminal with a big red glowing light. We tried to access it, but nothing happened. Great. A little further on, you get into the first of 3 boss battles that happen one after another.
First, you fight 2 elite soldiers. Clobber these 2 morons and you face the second boss battle, a giant dolt named Ubu. To beat him with any luck, you'll need to use the combo system.
Ubu is gonna get a boo-boo.
Did you know this game had a combo system? We almost finished the game and never had to use it once. You're not even properly taught how it works. We had to dive into the game manual to figure it out.
This character has so much health and is ultra repetitive. You just keep repeating the same action about, 100 times, and if you did everything right, you'll be able to go to the next and final boss of the whole game, Razmataz Al Ghuli Ghul.
This is where the game comes together to combine everything that doesn't work into a whole new package.
Mr. Al Ghul and the Dark Knight are now fighting with swords because why not? There is no introduction to the game mechanic at all, so you're just tossed into it to figure it all out while Batman gets poked full of holes.
The changing camera angles and shifting controls make this battle practically impossible to clear.
And if you think you can overcome the infernal camera angles by staying in one place, well, you'll just lose the fight faster, cause Ra's al Ghul totally takes advantage of you staying in one area. And every time Ra's knocks you down, you'll be treated to this lovely soundbite.
Face me, detective.
This is the ultimate battle in the game, and the developers clearly only played it once or twice before giving it a gold star.
But finally, after hours of the most wretched, broken gameplay, through glitches, bugs, and so much wasted potential, you strike a winning blow against this cunning enemy.
Finally, you're treated to a glorious ending.
So shall it be.
I think he totally wanted to say something other than cunning enemy.
Yeah.
Be.
Also, Race just destroys the world.
Yay.
Wait, what just happened? Did we lose?
Yes.
But why?
Turns out there are multiple endings in Dark Tomorrow. The one you just experienced with us is the bad ending. So how do you get the good one? Remember that one point where we were lost and walking around and found that big red glowing light that didn't do anything?
Well, turns out you were supposed to do something with it.
Yeah, you need to use the universal tool in your utility belt to hack the system and disable Ra's al Ghul's super weapon.
Is there any direction, any hint, any possible way to know that you had to do that?
No, nothing at all.
Even with the good ending, things don't end well at all. Ra's is killed accidentally by that walking imbecile Ubu who you fought earlier.
But Ra's is carried to a green pool of jello, and brief moments before the credits begin to roll, Ra's is shown to be alive.
So what did we learn?
Well, Batman has a lot of people that hate him, and he's doomed to fight them forever. And because he refuses to kill any of them, they'll always find a way back. Batman and his foes will forever make the world worse for everyone.
So what was the point of all of this?
As a player, and
There
onlooker,
was
the
none.
Crusader himself, there is no good ending when it comes to Batman, Dark Tomorrow.
It's just bad.
Seems that way.
Yeah. Jesus, wept, man. Ugh. I don't know what else to say about this except for just no. No thank you, please. Can we do something else?
I'm glad we have much better Batman games to play than this.
Yes. I'm glad for that. Ugh. So
Let's imagine if this was like the only Batman game ever made.
oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, this should be shown to people on lessons about 3D game design and what not to do.
Yeah, everything that's considered to be bad game design is in this.
Yes. I would say this game needs to be shown for 3D, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde needs to be shown for like side-scrolling 2D games, because that is easily like one of the worst 2D games ever, and it makes everything that happens in it makes no sense.
E.T.
E.T. probably that as well, but E.T. is just E.T. That was just a lazy game, dude. That was just a stupidly lazy game. Ugh. Alright. Anyway, that was Re-Res with Worst Batman Game Ever, Batman Dark Tomorrow, Just Bad Games. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and if you want to see us react to more Re-Res, feel free to let us know. But that's, I think we're done for now, so till next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. Take care. Peace.